It's hard to sink a Livingston. They're foam. So there's the new ladder. I'll show it in operation in a little bit here. So I switched it over. These were going to be down below and dangle off the boat with this upside down, but the boat turns harder than that. The freeboard is taller, so it doesn't work. But it did look like it would hook onto the side of the boat, and we'll try something else. So I had to turn each one of these around. I put a set screw through, put them upside down, and then I'm going to use the extension at the end. It's got a piece you can put in for one more step. It's basically this piece cut here and here, and then I'm going to use these two pieces for a final step, which I'm not sure I need, but we'll try that anyways. All right, this will be the third one of these that I've trimmed to get rid of the shaft little piece here too, so I can pivot the ladder poles where I want them. You'll see what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to display what a pain in the butt these are, because if this works, this is going to be probably used, if it's not already, on other boats, because it'll be an affordable ladder. So here we go. There's my phone stand. It helps to have hands like a gorilla. And then I kind of use my hacksaw blade as a sander. A file might do this pretty good too. But I've just been grinding away like this, and it just comes off in particles. And then I clean it up with my blade. And you really got to get most of it gone, because the it's pretty tight fit. So if you think you got a little more to take off, do it. Just like you don't see that line anymore. You know, maybe a hot knife or sandpaper. File. Probably a file. Well, speaking of which, let's try it. Yeah, pretty well gone. The file's a nice touch-up tool. Pretty much gone. Alright, next shot will be the idea in action. So what I've done here is taken a knife. First I took my hacksaw and cut the best I could this little piece away, this like protrusion that slides up into the steps of the pool ladder, which are these. You can see the notch. Now if the notch was here, we'd be set. But I'm trying to make this my stairs go into my boat, and I'm see if I can't make a affordable version of a boat ladder with stuff I got laying around the yard. See, the set screw is slight angle, but I'm right next to the rib right here, so that it's as strong as possible where the bolt's going to go through. And then it's slightly at an angle here, but it's right next to this rib, right next to that rib. All of these are drilled. So we'll see once that's all drilled together and set screwed and with some pads. Man, it'd be sweet if this works. So not a lot of room for your feet, but that's how it hangs on the boat. I don't have one right now, the one on the back. We're gonna remove it, doesn't do anything because you can't get up there. It's been locked out by an outboard. I have them connected so they don't roam. So yeah, there's a DIY little version of a swimming pool ladder you can put on your sailboat for cheap, just as in my case it's probably temporary and I'll get a real one someday, but there's an inexpensive alternative, which is what you want to do when you didn't spend much on your boat. So the boat ladder did work. I probably put some type of foam spacer just to keep it from slapping on the boat, but I don't think it hurt it. Ended up having about 2.5 inches of platform for your foot. But if you could put a little spacer there, it'd give you a gap and you'd have like 3 to 4 inches for your feet. So maybe I'll make it a little bit better, but the next project going for us is lithium batteries. We're going to put 3 lithium batteries in there, and we're going to keep 2 lead acid batteries in there just for the second battery bank, and have a DC to DC charger so the lithium batteries can be charged by the lead acid batteries, which I'll show you the setup I have. I've learned it from other sailing channels. Allison and James have a good example of what I'm doing right now, and a lot of different like trailers and recreational vehicles are doing it this way. So be sure if you're getting a lithium battery not to just assume you can just swap them over. There's some differences and they're expensive, so do some research. So I'll show you what it looks like now, what the goal is, and then I've got some just random footage of some seals that were coming up the Willamette River, just tons, hundreds of them, probably following the smelt at the time. But right before the seals, check out the Willamette Falls in Oregon City, Oregon during the atmospheric river. It was just busting it. All right, have a good one. There's a look at the new Bimini. Right now we're in the process of unhooking this battery, then this one, then this one. I'm going to take them all out, take them home, charge them individually, see if they're ruined. But right now, charge controller says 9.4. So it dropped to about 11.2 or something. And they haven't held a charge since, so I think I let them get too low and ruined. But I'm going to try to revive them one at a time, see if there's any good ones. But those are the Bi-Mart batteries that are, 79 to 100 bucks. I think they're 100 amp hours. But I thought I was saving money by buying inexpensive batteries. But it was probably my fault. So we'll see in the future if I manage to keep them above a certain number, how long they'll last. But I think we got about 2 years out of these, would you say? So 2 years of usage, lights, controls, all kinds of stuff. They did pretty good, but I let them drop below a certain thing and they might be toast, but we will find that out. I'll let you know.
Batteries are only as good as their weakest battery.
Yes, and batteries are only as good as their weakest batteries. So we'll remove that. I'll slide it down there to that other opening and hopefully I can get them out that way. That way I can just slide underneath all this wiring. But first I'm going to take a picture so I somewhat see how it goes back together when I have to put it back together. But I'll zip tie all these together. Zip tie those, zip tie those, zip tie those. And hopefully with the picture, I can get it all back together proper. Boat stuff, fun. So I'll butt in here real quick just to let you know that the solar panel I got was switched. The two wires they had hooked up to the solar panel itself, the red was to the black and the black was to the red. They had it opposite. So when I had my wires hooked up to my charge controller, they were like nulling each other out. Nothing was happening. It was, I don't know, probably wasn't very good for it. But either way, I was troubleshooting and I put the individual wires in there and saw that one set was working. I was like, okay, maybe there's something wrong with the other one. Well, I just swapped the wires and put it in there by itself so I could see if any power was coming from that. And your charge controller will tell you if you're receiving power if you just push the right button. And turns out that it was just hooked up wrong. So those batteries that went down to like 8, 4, or 9, and I was never really able to retrieve them, could have been salvaged. It was a mistake. The wires were wrong and now it's correct and now it's charging. I don't know, great. It's kind of a mess down there. Hopefully I can remember how to put it together. Falls are pretty busy today after atmospheric river.
Amazing.
Good luck, salmon.